Hello and welcome. It's been, wow, actually just a day shy of a month. The last live stream was the Jack Trivia. So a big thank you to Gareth and Jen and Nicole who joined me. That was a fun time for sure. It's been a while. I'm just getting back into doing videos, just back into getting live streams set up again. And yay, we have a Vampire Chronicle live stream coming up in November. And I will also be joined by Dave and Olive for a chat in November. So things are starting to look up and get back on track. As always, a big thank you to everyone who can join me during this babbling. I've got a whole 2 stack of books next to me to chit chat about the Cousin It Read and Watch event, as well as some of the things I've been reading and a few things I won't be reading. Big thank you to Team Rewatch. I always appreciate that as well. And I do know that between schedules and life and everything else, it's not always possible to pop in when the live stream is going. Since it's just me, I'm going to go through all of Kat's pre-show spam emojis. Wouldn't be Cat if there weren't nuts and balls. Spammy spam. Little grins. Chaos rain. Will you get caught? Of course you will. It's just, I actually just popped in before I went live, getting back into the swing of things. Oh, yeah, you did. Hee hee hee. Spamalicious. Get your spooky on. I agree. 'Tis the season. Don't forget to spank that like button. Thank you, Kat. Wee, she turns into a little ghost. A pumpkin, which that's what I was going to look up. Thank you, Kat. I need to find out what happened with my pumpkin plant. Tons of flowers, some funny shapes, but not a single pumpkin. Yeah, I thought of Cousin It, but we'll see. I may just keep my hair on, up. On? Yeah, I'm not blowing my hair off. Hey, Kat, how you doing? Wondered how long. Well, like I say, I was a bit late getting in here. So, yeah, and yes, I'm excited to have Dave and Olive back on. It's been quite a while. So that will be fun. We'll be chatting UFOs, life in the cosmos, and Olive's not going to scare the hooey out of me by slipping off something at the end of the stream this time. Vampires, indeed. I need to start Armand soon and get annotating that. It was so much fun to see Leslie's copy of The Body Thief annotated. Maybe nutrients, got tons of flowers and only one pumpkin. Yeah, but at least you got one, so that was fun. Lots of interesting shapes indeed. I may at some point share what those pumpkin flowers were like, because I haven't actually noticed any of the flowers doing that. And I just have to move some things from behind my screen here, because my laptop keeps bopping into it. Organic meal replacement. Well, yeah, instead of a meal replacement. All right, where am I going to put this? I'm going to put that right there. Ooh, I could have put the other one there too. All right. So, can put those, yeah, see, I have my two glasses, one that shines off the screen and the other one that doesn't. So I'm going to go through a few different books. And Kat, it looks like it's just you and me, Chiquita. But that's okay. It's been a while. I'm an hour early. Schedules all can't talk are all over the place, so it's all good. I was going to, maybe not clear. Well, I actually should probably go in for an eye test, and I want to get some new ones. These are my up close because I refuse to wear bifocals. I kept my old distance ones, but they don't have the no glare. So, phone on max. Nice. I appreciate you being sneaky. But yeah, I should probably go in and get my eyes tested. I am definitely where some of hubby's coverage will pay for part of them. So I'll pick something that get the anti-glare for the distance. These will be fine because they're good for reading. They work well. And then if I get my distance ones, then I can use either one when I'm recording a video, whether I'm reading, like here, I need to see the comments, or if I'm reading a book or something, or if I'm just at a distance. And yeah, I don't know. I think I just need to change some different frames, and we'll see what kind of cost and options I have. So I'm going to go through some of the library books first. I have to be careful because I've got my phone there. Haven't opened the pop yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, had to pay for the. Oh, see here? And it's the one advantage to having a lazy eye, because I've had glasses since I was 5. Little teeny glasses. But because I have a lazy eye and I live in Ontario, my appointments are still paid for. I know they switched that a few years ago. Like our eye appointments used to be free for everybody, but now it's just certain conditions that you still get a free eye appointment. And the glasses coverage depends on where you work and the benefit package from your employer. So my husband's got a decent one, thank goodness. And even when I worked for the board, because it's not the way I think, I could have had my benefits plus his benefits and, topped up both of them for dental, everything. It just didn't make sense to me, but it's not how I think, so I'll never be a millionaire. Okay, so every 2 years we can get partial paid back, but it's minimal. Insurance costs more than what it would cover. Yeah, see, that's kind of the stinker of it, is there. Well, mind you, here you still have to pay through work, and you can either continue to get the benefits, but part of that comes off your paycheck. So it isn't free in that sense. But it definitely works out between things like dental, for sure. With the coverage, it works out for medical, definitely, if you have prescriptions or anything, which we both do. They used to be free several years ago for whatever medicine that, but his benefit package has changed. So now it's $1 for any prescription, which is still, compared to the price of some of the medications, a hell of a savings. Like, I can't imagine what it must be like. Hey, Leslie. I can't imagine what it must be like trying to pay to go see a doctor for an appointment, or, having to pay for medications out of pocket, or having to go pay at an emergency room or walk-in clinic. I mean, thankfully, up here, all of that stuff is free. You stay in the hospital, it's free, it's covered. Well, I shouldn't say free. I mean, we pay for it through our taxes because, yes, it is more in taxes up here. I'm in Ontario. Each province, like the states, have some different things and benefits, what have you. But here in Ontario, where I live, yeah, when you go to the hospital, it doesn't cost you anything to go to an emergency room. You get your checkup, all of that. It doesn't cost if you have to stay in the hospital. Hallelujah, because when my husband had to stay for 3 days in emergency gallbladder surgery, that didn't cost us anything. And I mean, it was pretty scary because, not only was he in emerge and then had to be admitted and then ended up staying for a few days. Yeah, it didn't cost us anything. I mean, it cost us maybe $2 because he may have had, I think, a couple of prescriptions, like an antibiotic or something. But yeah, $2 we could manage much easier than I don't even know what it would cost down there. It's scary, boo. But yeah, glasses 8 years ago, children's department. Hi, little fun-sized cat. Yeah, yeah, me too. That was freaky and glad I was still driving then because he came home from work. It was a Monday, said he wasn't feeling well, and then decided he really wasn't feeling well. So I took him into Emerge, and thank goodness, because they figured out he needed surgery like now. And he isn't the only one that happened to in kind of a short span of time. It was really bizarre. Stayed for days, meds. Yeah, see, that's the scary thing, Kat, that I hear from a lot of people in the States is, you pay for everything there, a Band-Aid, and up here you stay, you get your 3 meals a day, you get your medications. Those don't cost anything. That's part of your hospital stay. It's so different, which is why I don't know why those bobbleheads in a certain building seem to think that we would want to give that up. It's like, are you on crack? Like, seriously? No, thank you. And women up here, well, the ones who don't wear red hats that are too tight, there's no way they're giving up paid maternity leave for a year to bond with their children. Now, of course, that applies to women who are working, but here, and again, I'm just speaking to Ontario. Up here in Ontario, if you're employed and all of that, you get a year's paid maternity leave. So you're still getting a part of your paycheck. I don't think it's 100% of the pay, but it's quite a bit of it. And you get a year to stay at home with your kiddo and bond with your child. Not like that idiot behind the podium in that building who went back to work after 3 days. And yeah, I don't get that. I mean, I get it for women who are in a financial need and don't have, that maternity benefit or money coming in. But I don't understand it for someone who snagged herself a millionaire and then 3 days later she's back at work. Like, seriously, lady? Don't stand there and talk to the rest of the world about family values and all the rest of it when, okay, happy place, happy place. We're going to think of books. Yeah. So I my mom on NyQuil. That doesn't fix it. At least leave. Yeah, it's been well, I can't take cough medicine without some bizarre impact because it just makes me loopy. Wanted the kids for attention, not talk. Yeah, there's some like that. Hey, Margaret, how are ya? Good to see ya. Thank you, cat, kitties, puppies, flowers. Saying hi to Margaret. So, yeah, it's I don't know. And up here, even men, fathers get paternity leave. Now, I think their leave is 3 months, maybe 4 months. See, we don't have human kids, so it's not really something I've paid attention to. But yeah, men get time to stay at home with their newborns as well and do some of that family bonding, which to me makes sense if you can afford to do that. I mean, when your kiddo is young, that's the time to get those connections. Need Bob to give you meds. Just cough medicine. And I only know about that because it was years ago. I'd taken a couple teaspoons, had a bad cough. We were on our way to do grocery shopping, and I don't know what I even said in the car. And he's just laughing away. And I'm like, what's so funny? And he's like, that cough medicine, you are messed up. And I'm like, great. So he had a very entertaining day. Margaret's doing what I did, laying on the couch. Bean won't join you. Aw. Just below me purring. Weirdo. Yeah, Panther does that too, so it must be a boy cat thing, Margaret, because Panther won't jump up on the couch. Let me know if Bean ever does. Um, but Panther won't jump up on the couch or sit in your lap. He'll walk right beside you. He'll walk along the arm on a chair and he'll stand right below you on the couch, but he will not come up and actually step on you. And on the bed, if we don't have his special blankets, and he has two of them, but if those aren't on the bed, he doesn't come up on the bed either, and he rarely goes past halfway up. His part of the bed is the end, but his binkets have to be there. Little man's been doing that lately. Sits on guard at my feet. Oh, maybe he wants stairs built there for him, Cat, just like his comfy bedroom stairs. Oh, yay, he's up. Good job, Bean. Yep, that's what Cat said too. Not a boy cat thing. Oh, Jack would hop up and snuggle. Nice. JB's only now learning. Usually an arm over my head or over my head. Yep, up on the when you do the fairy tale readings. Usually does with the special blanket, engraved invitation. This time he needed 10-minute warm up. Too funny. Just a sec. Our kids do such funny, funny things. But yeah, our kiddos, it's lovely when they cuddle up. Tiki's just getting to the point, 2 years, where she'll hop in my lap and get little face cuddles, but she's always cuddling with her dad, especially when he's downstairs on the computer in the morning. But yeah, and I couldn't find my paper with the prompts for the cousinette read and watch figures. See, out of practice. And I had just seen it the other day and it was sitting right here. But then, of course, I moved things because why wouldn't I? And now I don't know where I've put them. So I'm just going to go through. I've got a good idea with the read and watch and some of the prompts, and I'm just going to chat about the books. Cat, silly boy, mine get offended if they need an invitation. More like the, yeah, This is my spot. Why are you coming up on the furniture near me? See, that's like my cat table where I dare to put my books, and Panther's like, how am I supposed to stretch out there? And the little monkey actually had his foot on one of my books. I thought it was going to go flying, but he managed to make do because he's got, I mean, the table is huge to begin with, and it's handy to do things on. That's why I love spreading out my books and things there. And that's why Panther and Tiki were by me yesterday morning. And then they got tired of laying on the carpet. So they came up walking along the table as I'm trying to do notes. And they're standing right in the middle of my notepad. I'm like, hello, I'd like to finish this sentence before I lose the thought. I hate when you can't find. Yes, I agree, Margaret. That's why I need to get myself better organized. I spent probably half an hour to 40 minutes this morning looking for a picture that I need before I can put up a video that's been done for a week now about positive energy in a book that I've done. But because I mentioned something in the video, I needed the picture to go with it. And I just found it this morning. So I need to get my photos and things organized. It's so much easier being old school. Well, I guess not because I don't have my list. It's semi easier being old school and set up a file. And then it's easier to find things. You can just scoot around versus having to go through a ton of thumb drives and try and remember where it is. Yeah, excuse you, human. It's a spare bed. He's got so many spare beds between. He's got, well, the table he loves stretching out on, so does Tiki. Xena used to, but since she's got her comfy little bed that I moved, she's enjoying that. So he's got the table, he's got his box in the kitchen, he's got his camper in the living room. Tiki's got, she's the one who mostly uses the little ortho bed that's under the table. He's got the big purple pillow that he loves, that it curls around him. He's hilarious. He has a ton of sleeping spots. Well, they all do for that matter. After my friend Alice on IG posted a pic of her hair stretching out in a split. Aw, looked like a cat. That would be cute. And I'm guessing IG is Instagram. Oh, gone again. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying a stretch out, Margaret. That's nice. So see, we've flipped roles. This time I'm the one chit-chatting with the books and you get to chillax on the couch. So the library books, and I was surprised when I went through the other day because I've just saved a bunch that I get to pick up on Saturday. So I'll be picking up season 1 of Interview with the Vampire and binge watching that on the weekend because videos and movies you can only take out for 7 days. Books you can take out for 3 weeks. And I don't know why there's a difference with the movies and videos, but there is. Obviously, oh, see, that's what I didn't grab. The Shining is not in big demand because it got auto-renewed again. I'm like, alrighty. But so I'll be picking up Interview this weekend. Yes, to a binge watch. And they also have season 2. So I'll get that in a weekend or two. But so yeah, I get to watch season 1. Then I've got, I think, 4, maybe 5 books that I've put on hold that I'm looking forward to reading. And they're fiction, so they should be fairly quick reads. Oh, one of them actually is the Anne Rice Companion. So I'm curious about going through that. And it's a chunky monkey, but it'll be a quick flip through to see about the different series, I think. I don't think it's just Vampire Chronicles. It may touch on her other series as well. But when I was looking at my account on the library website, I took out 12 books the other day. Well, 11 books and then the one movie. And thankfully, all but one, maybe two, will be going back this weekend. And so here's why. And first we'll catch up. A bunny. Yeah, want to snuggle a bunny. Cat, you want to snuggle all the animals. Allison, yep, Instagram. There we go. So, Kat, now you know who to follow if you're on Instagram. So, first, the books that are going back that I didn't read. One is, oh, yeah, well, only the cute furry ones. And we'll get to that when I talk about devolution. Because you don't want to be snuggling them. And you've read the book, Kat, so you know why. Aw, Kat saw Bambi this morning. So the first book that's definitely going back is Mirror, Mirror by Louise Hay. It's a 21-day program. And I've got so many programs that I own myself. I need to get to the Artist Way. I need to get back to a number of other things I had planned. So I'm going to take a pass on looking at the mirror and talking to myself, partly because I don't like looking at the mirror anyway. So that's going to go back, and it's at the library, so I can always take it out again if I decide to give that a try. Then UFOs, God's Chariots. This was by Ted Peters. Now, I've read this before, and I was going to give it, excuse me, another read just because I'm reading the UFOs, all of that stuff right now. But I didn't get to it, and there's a bunch of other books I want to get to. So again, fingers crossed, when I decide to get it, it'll still be at the library. It makes me sad. There was one years ago called Gorgon. It was about different findings in Africa. And the book is now out of print, and my library doesn't have the copy. And I'm like, grr. But the UFO Chariots is going to wait, along with A Cosmic Encounter. This is by Stuart W. Bench. And this was like The Demonologist. I'd forgotten I've already read this, so obviously it didn't have much of an impact the first time through. I got partway through the first chapter where he's talking about relocating some red squirrels that had gotten into his shed or what have you. And he was in this isolated area. Oh, so I read more than one chapter. And that was his first contact. Then there was other stuff going on and work and everything. He decided to go to a friend's cottage. And that's when they started, yes, beaming him up. Excuse me. And yeah, it says true story of an alien abduction and engineers' analysis of extraterrestrials and their technology. There are a few diagrams in it, but, publishers are really starting to tick me off. Even though this is published by Llewellyn, one of my favorite, if you're looking for outside of the box type of books or pagan books, there's a lot of fascinating authors. This guy is published by them, but there's no suggested reading in the back. It just, WTF, people. Like, you're talking about all this stuff. Why would you not have other information in the back so that people can follow up what you're talking about in terms of crop circles and this and that. Like, grr. Woo! Margaret just had book mail. I might get that one day, and I'll quick catch up on. Okay, I, I don't even know how to say that. Azotl. I don't know. Someone will have to be on here and tell me someday. They're so cool looking. Okay, Minecraft. Never seen one in real life. I don't think you can snuggle them. UFOs, beam me up. Check back in a few years. Yeah, no kidding. Scotty, where are you? Book mail's arrived. Ah, nice. Sunny outside. Oh, Margaret might be getting off the couch and going to enjoy the sunshine. But yes, so this book will be going back. I don't know if I will end up taking it out again because, like I say, I know I've read it. I was thinking with an engineer there would be some more detailed stuff, but it really didn't stand out for me. So there we have it. Now, another library book, and I did finish this, like, I think in a day and a half. Hey, Dee Dee, how are ya? Is Devolution. Devolution? I'm not sure how you pronounce that now. And this is by Max Brooks. And yes, I just used sticky notes because it is a library book. And I've been making my notes, so I will be doing a video on this. If you like horror stories, Bigfoot, this is a good read. It's fast paced. I mean, everything kicks off within the first few days. These people are at this isolated, secluded camp. Well, they have houses, so it's not really a camp, but it's a little techno community way up near Mount Rainier, and there's an eruption. And of course, things come down the mountain. It's an interesting read, but there were some things I'm like, people, are you kidding me? I mean, I know you're hooked up with your fiber optics and everything, but, and one thing I found funny, and Kat, you've read it as well. So they're living in this community. I love that in the beginning, and I always find these fascinating, and even Akatar had it. They have a handy little, glare. There we go, no glare. They have a handy map in the front so you can see their houses, the community house, and going north. So they're in this teeny community, but they all have security on their houses. Like, why? Are the squirrels going to come get you at night? There's only, I think, 5 houses around. They've got a community house in the middle where they go do their potluck dinners, and then they go home and do their virtual work and whatnot. Why in crikey would you have security on your houses way up there? Like, somehow, to me, that doesn't say, yes, let's be a small, tight-knit community. Oh, she can't hear me anymore. I'll ask Kat when I'm doing when I do that video. Excuse me, allergies and my voice is still going. So the other library book is Imminent. This is by Luis Elizondo. I do need to finish this. I'm almost there. I think I've got about 60 pages to go. Now, he is retired military. He'd worked at the Pentagon in charge of various programs. And again, it cracks me up how many times all of these same names come up in so many different books over the last decade plus. So we have his name that comes up in The Ranch from Utah. He's come up in other books that I've read. I'll have to go back and check if he comes up in John B. Alexander's book. But in this book, we have Lakatsky, who also comes up from the ranch at Utah, George Knapp, who is the author of two of those books related to Utah. Lakatsky is a co-author on one of the books. Robert Bigelow, who was the owner of the ranch for a number of years, then he sold it. But Bigelow's name comes up because he got funding for $22 million. All those names come up in They're Already Here by Sarah Scholes. It's just amazing how this whole cluster continues to come up, and some of them work for the military. Knapp is a journalist. It's been a very interesting read, certainly about his job. It's just, maybe it's just me, but I still find it hard to believe that supposedly since 1947, these people have all managed to keep quiet. Like, I know, and I watched some of the hearings. I think there's a 2-hour one on YouTube that I still need to watch beginning to end. So I've only seen clips. I just find it hard to believe that after this many years, this stuff would be as hush hush as they say. Like, there's just too many people that would be involved in terms of the scientists and research and, yeah, it just, I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Like I say, I need to finish reading it. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to. I think I've put it on my wish list, so at some point I may buy it. And I just realized I didn't bring in The Paranormal Ranger, and now the author's name escapes me. But he's part of, what's the name? Is it Nevada Rangers? I know he works did work. He's retired and now goes around and does talks and lectures. And that author has Navajo, Cherokee in his background. So he was raised through both of those cultures because parents split and he split time between them. And then he went to become, I think it's called Nevada Rangers. And I mean, the amount of area that they patrol is insane. And he even talks in the book, and I definitely want to buy that one. I've read it front to back, borrowed it from the library. But I mean, he's talking there about, I think in the beginning when he started, there were maybe 50 of them. It was between 40 to 50. And he's talking about other stuff that's been going on, and of course, cutbacks and all kinds of things. And I think there's now less than 10 of them who are patrolling and responsible for this massive area and trying to, figure things out and everything. But I really like this I just like the way he wrote. I like the way he kept talking about in his role. His job was to meet with people and really focus on letting them know that he was there to listen and take their concerns seriously. He wasn't just into investigating UFOs or that type of thing. He had a lot of other responsibilities as well that came under that role of his. But he really talks about when he's working with people and listening to them and taking them seriously and being respectful and bringing all of his own background from both Navajo and Cherokee into figuring things out and talking about the myths and the stories and how that relates into so many different things. I really enjoyed the read, and it's definitely a book that I want to have a copy of. Next, I'm going to go with this one. This was one of my recent book haul. This was one of my recent thrift store buys. Same weekend that I picked up all the books at the library. This is called The Unidentified. It's by Colin Dickey. Mythical Monsters, Alien Encounters, and Our Obsession with the Unexplained. It's a fascinating read. I've tabbed a few things. There's lots of stickies. So what I've been starting to do is use these little tabs for things I want to quote. And then these are for other information, whether it's making note of, so here the section's about UFOs. So my little sticky says, impact of Betty Hill's description of Gray. Betty and Barney Hill were the couple who were abducted. They came up with the descriptions through regression, hypnotic regression. I really have issues with that because there have been so many different cases, one in my own family, of false memories. So when people are talking about this, or when they're in the session, it really depends on who's doing the sessions, what questions they're asking, and all of that. And of course, after these things become memories for the individual. But I've read different things about years ago when there were accusations being made against parents being Satanists and all of this, and it wasn't true. The situation in my family, the individual thought their father had done something, were convinced of it through these false memories, and ended up losing the last few years with her father. And I wonder with some of these abduction cases where it comes up through hypnosis is what were the questions these people were asking? I mean, if it was a court case, you'd say they were leading the witness. So much of that depends on who's doing the session and so many other things. This individual, he's a reporter, but he doesn't mention Elizondo. He does bring up Bigelow, but he doesn't talk specifically about the ranch. There's a lot of different things that he leaves unanswered when it comes to the subject of UFOs. But he did make an interesting discussion and case about Loch Ness and a number of the other sea serpents. He makes an interesting case about Bigfoot and different things that were happening there. So, for instance, in Bluff Creek, one of the earliest sightings, the other part, and I can't think of the individual's name right now, but when I go through this, I'll talk more in detail about it. The individual who had found these footprints and all this other stuff at the logging camp actually was behind on the job. There were other financial issues going on. Whether that was part of it or not, I mean, it's up to speculation. I've always wondered why with UFOs, it's been the cows that they're interested in. I mean, the odd time, sadly, there are other animals involved, but it's typically cows. And according to this individual, there were different things going on with the beef industry, impacted by the government, like now. And that had something to do with it. And I'll need to take a look at some of the different stories that go past the 1980s to see if that's still such a big deal about these sightings. And I mean, of course, now you've got drones up there, you've got satellites up there, you've got all the light pollution, so I'm amazed people are seeing anything at all unless they live way, 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 way out in the country. But in any case, this was a very interesting read, and I wanted to make sure I got this finished, even though it's my own book, before I finish Elizondo's book, which hopefully in the next couple of days I will. Then getting to Cousin It and the read and watch part, and I've left the case out there, unfortunately, and my book's there too. So I did finish reading The Shining. I did that as a buddy read with Jen from Literary Love 123, and we'll be chatting about that in November. It's been decades since I read the book, and I enjoyed it. The mother still gets on my nerves, and I watched the original movie by Kubrick. That was a good watch, and I remembered quite a bit of the movie, even though, again, that's been decades. And I enjoyed the watch. There's actually quite a bit of a difference between the movie and the book, and I'll be making a video talking more about that. Then we watched the special features. It's the handy thing about DVDs or Blu-rays, especially if they have decent extra features on them. So on this one, it was actually people talking about Kubrick. There was a bit with the actress, is it Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson? So it was interesting to hear their side of what was going on, because of course there's so much talk about how Kubrick treated Shelley and all that type of thing. But I'll be talking more about that in an upcoming video as well. The other read and watch, which I wasn't planning, but everything's falling into place. So I've been listening to Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, the musical. Love it. Narrated by Richard Burton. That voice is just amazing for narration. I love the music, the singers, the story. Love it. And I'll be listening to it numerous times between now and the end of the month. The other day, I think it was on Sunday, for the first time ever, I listened to the original broadcast by Orson Welles from 1938. You can find that on Spotify. It's the War of the Worlds broadcast. And I actually caught because I've done a couple videos about it. And the broadcast was actually the day before Halloween, because at the end, Wells wishes everyone a happy and safe Halloween. And listening to it, because Wells had sold the rights to the story, which is originally in the United Kingdom. But when he sold the rights to the story, the American publisher who bought it switched the location to the United States. So when Wells did his retelling, and he did an amazing job, I will give him that. But when Wells did the retelling of it, of course, because the locations were all in the United States, people were freaking out. And, back then they didn't have cell phones and everything to check in with everybody about what's going on. So what I'm going to do, I've already listened to the musical. I want to reread War of the Worlds. And I've listened to the radio broadcast. I may watch the movie. I haven't decided yet. And then I'll do a video about the comparison of all of them. So I'm looking forward to that. And I really do. Out of H.G. Wells' work, I love The Time Machine. War of the Worlds, definitely. There's a couple of the others that I've read of his. Well, 3 actually, because I got a box set of 5 of the books a while back, and I've read all of them now. But I definitely enjoy H.G. Wells versus Jules Verne. And I had a box set. I have a box set of Verne as well. I've read all 5 books. Finally read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But for me, Verne's way too technical. And he actually slammed H.G. Wells for not being technical enough with his science descriptions. But I like Wells. It's just a fun, enjoyable, short read, but such a great story. Another book that I do need to start is Ghost Sightings, the World's Spookiest Cases. This is by Brian Innes. I got this a little while ago on one of my thrift store shops. It was, I think, the second to last one. Woo! A Screaming Skull. Now, it's too bad Venn isn't here because I think he mentioned a screaming skull around his area. This is from Bettiscombe Manor, Dorset, England. So that will be new. There's Gentle Ghosts. Ooh, that's a pretty amazing photo. So there's photos and the stories. This is from Hampshire, England. Bolo Abbey. So that was definitely one of my ghost story reads for Cousin It. Devolution covers the prompt about either cryptids or UFOs. The Unidentified also covers cryptids, because I have cryptids in the Bigfoot, Loch Ness, UFOs, and Ghost Sightings also deals with the black or orange cover prompt or both. See, I've remembered a number of them, even if I don't remember them in order. I've yet to read a couple of the stories from Lovecraft Mythos New and Classic Collection. This is Gothic fantasy, and I love the shiny cover. These stories, the stories, excuse me, allergy throat, they're not all by Lovecraft. There's actually just a few of the Lovecraft stories in here. A lot of them are by authors I have never read before. So I have to pick a few and give that a try. And then the final book, and I It's one of my few sprayed edges. Love the bats on the top. Gothic horror stories, frightful tales of the supernatural. Now, I think this is the one, and I almost started it the other day. Yes. The Dream by Mary Shelley. There's a short story here, The Red Room. That's by H.G. Wells. I've never read that before, and I know Ven did a reading on his channel. So what I'm going to do is key up his video and read the story while he reads it to me. That should be fun. The Old Nurse's Story, that came up. That was my first time last year when we did the Ghosts of Christmas Past event, which Vin is going to be doing again this year. And I'm a co-host again, so I'm excited about that. And I'm waiting to hear what story we're going to read as a group. But I now have 2 copies of The Old Nurse's Story here and the little copy I bought last year. I've never read Nathaniel Hawthorne. I know there is one, something about Seven Gables, that I've never read. I had started it like way, way back and never ended up finishing it. This story is called Ethan Brand. So I may check that out. Eventually, I'll read all the stories in here. There's 2 by Sheridan Le Fanu, who wrote Carmilla, the vampire story. Oh, here we go. Didn't even see it the other day. Edgar Allan Poe. That's why I picked this up the other day, because I do want to read The Fall of the House of Usher. That was going to be my Edgar Allan Poe reading for the month. So there we go. Page 43. I need to get a sticky note so that I know where to read that. There we go. Ooh. There's a creepy photo. Yeah, might have to do it this way. There we go. Got our skeleton coming. I've never, and handy, I have a sticky note here. I've never read that before. And I'm not sure what happened. I'm not seeing any new comments. I don't know if everyone's poofed and headed out for the sunshine or if StreamYard's just being weird. I mean, YouTube's been weird and so many bizarre things going on between not being able to find comments and things like that. And hey, there we go. I had an hour's worth of books to chat about. So that's pretty much what I've been up to in terms of reading. Like I say, my library books, the majority of them will be heading back. I need to finish my notes on the Paranormal Ranger because I'm not sure when I'm going to be getting that again, or getting my own copy that I can annotate and highlight. I need to finish reading Imminent. That may or may not be auto-renewed, and I'm not going to count on that happening. Need to get my devolution video made so that can go back, because again, don't know if it'll be auto-renewed. It's a handy feature, but it comes up just 2-3 days ahead of time. So I don't want to leave a bunch of books outstanding and then they're not auto-renewed and I don't get a chance to finish them. The other books that I had, oh, hey, there we go. Think that's what's happening now. Thank you, Kat. At least I know it's still going, because suddenly there was no new comments coming. So I'm like, okay, everybody's gone, or I'm, talking to air. But the other books that I have, 2 of them had to do with weaving. So I'll end up taking those back because only one had some patterns I'm interested in. There was the kids' book that had to do with magic mystery, and I'm actually going to do a video about that. I got all my notes done yesterday before I went out and finished up my yard work. And then there was the book on iMac, which wasn't as detailed as I had hoped. It was like a really basic, you're brand new to the computer. Here's how you create a document and that. And I was hoping for something a bit more detailed for iMovie because I've watched a bunch of videos and there's a lot of helpful tips, but I'd still like some, and there's a huge manual that comes with it, but it's all on the computer. And for me, see, like ebooks, trying to read on a computer, I find very challenging. So if I have something in front of me that I can annotate, have my highlighter and my marker in hand, it just tends to work out so much better. But that is pretty much what I've been up to. I'm actually happy, and I've got it right here above me. So at least my reading is coming along. I've been finishing more books compared to my, what was it? Oh my gosh. That was really, August must have been brutal. I read 2 books in all of August. So yes, these yellow things mean I had to move them on to the next month. Holy jump. 2 books in all of August. And we're in the middle of October. I can't believe it. No wonder I'm so far behind on my normal reads. So September, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Okay, those are October. So September, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, at least I read 6 books. So 3 times as many as I'd read in August. And then October so far, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. October is shaping up to be better. So, woohoo! My reading is moving ahead, and we're only halfway through October. So, and imminent should be done in the next couple of days. Because, like I say, I've only got, I think it's about 60 pages. So I should be able to knock that off. War of the Worlds, I should be able to, that might be a 2-day read. The print is teeny. There we go. So that might take me a couple of days. Hard to say. And then I'll make sure to annotate that so I can do that movie. So there's 2 more books for the month. Yeah, no kitty visitors. Tiki's passed out on her tree. Panther, can't remember if I saw him near his purple pillow. Oh, he was camping. And Zena's in her comfy round bed. So no, it's quiet. Everybody's getting used to me being back on a live stream. Plus, it's normally around 3 o'clock when I start, which would be now, but they're napping. The birds outside the window were driving Panther crazy again this morning. Because I leave it open just a crack. It's nice to have some fresh air. And lately, the lady cardinals and the little sparrows have been there. And Panther's funny, but he doesn't make that weird little sound. Xena used to do it when she'd sit in the windows more often. Tiki, the odd time when she sees the birds or the squirrels, will make that. And well, it's not even, I don't know. It's a bizarre, it's not a meow, but they make that funny sound when they see something outside the window. Panther wasn't doing that, but the tail's going, and you can tell he's like right there with his little paws at the window. So I think that pretty much wraps up the reads. I need to get back to doing the reading and recording. So I have Chaz's book, Talendor's Guest, and I'm going to read the introduction, and I have to decide what I'm going to read, maybe one or two of the stories from throughout that. There's a story in Gareth's 10 Tales of Transformation that I need to record, and I'm going to do a full recording of No Sleep Till Corselia, also from 10 Tales of Transformation. And then I need to decide, that's what I was going to do. And, that's part of, and it does irk me that they didn't do a table of contents in these. Again, publishers, come on. Grr. But I'm going to pick maybe 3 or 4 stories from the Haunted Canada books. There are 12 different books, so that takes care of 12 weeks. And then do a retelling of some of those stories. And then I may get back to Grimm's Fairy Tales and finish that collection. So I need to do that. And Bob tells me I need to get my room in order down there because Panther has been, bless his little heart, eyeing my stool. I've got a chair and a footstool. And how dare me, human, have something on my footstool. So he won't jump up on it yet, but he's wanting to. So now that mostly the yard work is done outside, I need to put some straw into the shelters for Chin and Lily and get the yard waste off the deck. Can take that to the back and it'll break down over the winter. So I'm pretty much wrapped up as far as work outside. I did get that video done yesterday. I just need to pop it into iMovies, put it together, front, backyard. Teeny bit of editing and a few additions to add. So slowly but surely, I'm getting back on track. I've got content to get up there. I just need to, like I say, I spent a good chunk of the morning trying to find one picture that I needed. So once I add that in the video, that can go up. So I'll have Positive Energy going up, the book by Judith Orloff that I've mentioned. I've got the yard video that I just need to put together. So the after work update. I need to finish the Bible tag. There's a couple books that I need to track down and then record that and put it up. And then the Devolution book review. The Unidentified will probably be 3 different videos because I want to talk about the cryptids, the lake monsters, and the UFOs separately because there really is a lot of different stuff to talk about in his book. I'll do a wrap up for the Cousin It Read and Watch. I have a few more UFO books to talk about and summarize. I still need to do my book review of The Brown Yelp Gang. Finished that ages ago, had the live stream with Gareth. Still haven't done the book review. I don't know. I need to narrow things down a bit and as I realized reading Fingerprints of the Gods, which I have yet to finish, and I started that ages ago. And as I'm reading things, I keep thinking of, oh, I can put that in a video. Oh, I should talk about this. Oh, I should do this mind web or chart, whatever. And then I keep reading, and then it's weeks later, and it's like, what was that again? Oh yeah. No, I need to. So I got to stop doing that. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to stop having 10 or more books on the go, but with some of them, I need to read a chapter to do what I was thinking of doing in terms of either notes or charts, stuff like that, before I keep reading. In other words, take when am I going to finish it off the table, especially with the nonfiction books, and just go through it like that. I mean, I've got, and I need to start book 2 of Akatar because, yeah, I've got a couple more weeks that other people, well, I have to find out. I haven't heard from Noah or Paula if they're finished book 1 yet or not. I'm not sure if Jenny started it yet or not, but I know Jenny's a super fast reader. And then next month, we're on to book 2, at which point Ven also needs to start reading because he's only read 1 book out of the series. I've got Armand to read for the Vampire Chronicles group. And yeah, I'm looking at up here because I've got my beef, I was going to say beef chunk. That's not right. Beefcake tag list of books, and there's just no way I'm getting those done by the end of December. I mean, they're massive. And in January, before the world went completely bonkers on so many levels, it seemed like a good possibility, except for 2 of them. But I'm still, Dune is still sitting there waiting and waiting. I need to finish the Book of Signs. I need to finish Fingerprints before I move on to Magicians. Or I could just, be silly and start Magicians before I finish Fingerprints. But Hancock's stuff jumps around enough as it is. Trying to go between 2 of his books would just not be good. What else do I have up there? Ooh, Gods of the New Millennium. That's another chunky monkey based on Zechariah Sitchin's theory about the ancient aliens in the Bible. That goes back to all the Bible stuff. I need to get back to drawing down the moon. It's like, oi. Just oi. I have all these plans, but at least I'm getting my binders more organized. And the more I get that stuff in place, the better, because then I can track things easier. I've figured out a good system for, there's another book I just finished, Beyond Earth. There, thanks, Leslie. Man's Contact with UFOs. This is by Ralph Blum with Judy Blum. And he, I think, worked for a TV station or something, if I remember correctly, based on this work. It cost all of $1.50 new, so it's not a brand new book by any means, new to me, but yeah, this was also a fascinating read with a lot of the same names coming up. This focuses a lot on things in the 1970s. And I've got, did I do his? No. It's these 2. I have the name list done for. This one, take care, Leslie. This one I need to add. But now that I've got that set up handy, it's a lot easier and thankfully I type fast, it's a lot easier to get that done and get that all organized. So big plans, see where the content goes. I'm still thinking I may just keep it to 2 videos a week, possibly 3, because I have a whole bunch of tag videos. I've got that book and I have a few notes. Oh, that's my TBR one. Tags. Yep. Tags and notes. So I need to go through that, get those answered, and get them recorded. But now that the weather's changing and it's more kind of indoor time and things are hopefully calming down here, then I should be getting more on track with getting back to making content. Just kind of, YouTube is what YouTube is. I don't know what happened in the spring. I don't know what's going on with everybody's views. It's certainly not just mine. It's little channels like me. It's massive channels, unless they cover politics. Everyone, something is going on with people's views, and it isn't about content or quality or anything like that. But I figure, you know what? It isn't thankfully what I count on to pay the bills. It's something I do for fun. There's a lot of great ideas that I have. I'm excited to make the content. Editing, not so much, but there's some fun things that I can do with that too. And it's been a fun learning curve. Getting back to doing the live streams again is, good, and lining up guests again. So sending out emails, and we'll see when people get back to me, and all of that flows from there. So I think that's kind of it. Gone through a lot of books. If you've read any of them, let me know. If you're on Team Rewatch, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you've been doing any of the reads for Cousin It. I know life's been busy for so many people, and there's so many different great spooky events out there that I get it if people are involved and busy with other things. And yeah, I think I am going to call that a wrap for today. It was fun getting back on screen, getting back into the swing of things. I always appreciate that it's a small, quiet group, so I don't get overwhelmed and freaked out by things zipping by. So I'm going to say, until next time, happy reading, be well, be safe, and take good care. Big hug.